Can I help you?
Yeah, sorry to surprise you like this. We've been working on a story about Blessed Beginnings Fertility Clinic.
You have a connection to the clinic?
I do. I actually have a story that seems similar to yours.
How do you know about my story?
Anonymous whistleblower. Can we help?
You know, I wish I never tested Pip. It was clear she wasn't her father's daughter. But he loved her.
Do you mind me asking, the test, did it say anything specific?
Yeah, Pip's quarter Dutch, quarter German. My husband was Cuban. He was furious when he found out, tried to sue the clinic.
Which one was it?
Up in Maine?
Do you remember your doctor?
Of course. Jackson Walker. Nice man, to be honest. Anyway, we hired a lawyer, put forward a civil lawsuit, but they countersued. It was more than we could handle and much more than we could afford. Evidence was on our side. I think looking back, we would have won. After the accident, they offered to settle. Out of goodwill.
The accident?
They found him. My husband. And his truck in the lake. Luis was the warrior. Without him, there was no more fight. I could barely face the world, let alone the courts.
I am so sorry.
Even after all these years, the pain's just under the surface.
I lost my husband almost 3 years ago. And it still knocks the wind out of me.
Your son.
He's your husband's child. It's what I wanted, what we wanted so badly. But if I'm being honest, I think our children might be siblings.
I wondered if there was any others all these years. Hey, I don't want my name in that story you're writing. I don't want anything to do with this.
Of course. Can I ask why?
I'm scared. That's the truth. I had someone else about this a while back. They thought there were others, and they seemed to think the clinic would do almost anything to stop word getting out. Made me think of Luis and his accident.
This man, the visitor, he was connected to the clinic?
I'd assumed so, though he didn't share many details. I remember his name. Sam Bates.
Another one of our sources mentioned a Sam.
Is this him? Is this him?
Yeah.
This will continue to sting for the rest of the day. Just remember that pain is temporary. By the time the sun rises over the horizon tomorrow morning, your wound should be gone. How does that feel?
Better.
Just remember, girls, as mean and vile as Bethany may seem during the day, but at night, she turns into a little chicken.
He started yelling. Screaming at him. He's a disappointment. I couldn't believe my ears. Do you know what that does to a child? I could see it in Scotty's eyes. He had a hard time looking at me. He looked at me less and less. Until one day, Stop. I just want him to see me as his mother again. Instead of a monster.
She's like a robot?
You might as well leave now, Bob. You cannot compete.
I'll have you know, I have a very impressive resume.
Negative. I have taken the time to follow up on your references. Let's just get started, shall we? So you are aware, by design, I will never engage in gossip, need vacations, or retire. I will never make awkward advances at office parties, dress inappropriately, or embarrass the company.
Yeah, and I would never do that.
Negative. In fact, I have just sent pictures of your questionable behavior to Mary.
What do you think?
Oh my God. You can't wear those. They make your butt look huge. And if you already have a huge ass, you don't want to draw attention to it, right? You want to divert attention. Ooh, like a magician. Make people look at your... Well, this part of your neck is really pretty. So that. Oh, and we could totally go shopping together, but I don't want to.
Perhaps there's something you can tell me I don't know.
Well, most articles agree that your ancestor, Vlad Deville, was a violent and fearsome ruler who was also quite an accomplished winemaker. His wine was much loved by the people, and he controlled much of the market shares. But it wasn't what it is today. It was just regular wine, not bloody vintage.